Working with women is the most interesting thing.
Yes.
Yeah? And especially when they have to tell you the journey. Because you start with them from, some of them it is about the attitude change. Because you want to give them 100,000 and they tell you, no, I only want 2,000. So you have to convince them that you can actually take the 100,000. Yeah? This is a woman who has no business idea. Because we are looking at the women at the lowest pyramid.
Hi, I'd like to say Happy New Year, and I'm hoping that every dream and goal that you have for yourself in 2020 will actually come true. But I don't just want to wish you the best in a vacuum. That doesn't help. I'd like to think that by the time this year is over, I'll have pointed you in the direction to actually make those aspirations come true. And I'm joined by two women. By the way, if you're one of those people who's got issues with Kwani, it's just women, woi, you're going to have to find another channel because that is me unapologetically. I've got two women whose conversation around women being enterprising and what that means for us and our dreams and our families is actually going to be that thing that makes you sit up and pay attention. And I'm going to ask both of them to introduce themselves, and I'm going to start with you, my dear.
Thank you, Carol. My name is Ruth Randa, Head of Marketing and Communication at the Women Enterprise Fund.
That is a term people have not heard in a long time. And you?
Thank you, Carol. My name is Victoria Mashaya, heading Sustainability and Communications at Coke.
At Coke. Oh, there was a time when I was growing up, we had to say it in full, Coca-Cola. But Coke is enough. Ruth, I'm going to start with you. If you walk down the street and you ask anybody, have you heard of the Women's Enterprise Fund? They're like, eh. I mean, most of them will. You speak to 10 people, 8 will tell you they've heard of the Women's Enterprise Fund. And then when you ask them now, and what do? Wacha nifikirie kidogo. So I would like to start by asking you to tell me, in true Kenyan digital style, 3 things you do not know about the Women's Enterprise Fund. Number 2 will shock you. Tell me.
I know a lot of women, Carol, will tell you that Women Enterprise Fund is this agency that gives loans to women. Yeah? That is so obvious.
That I know.
That is obvious. What they do not know is that even as we fund women, men are allowed to be part of the conversation, because 30% of the membership within those groups actually men.
Okay.
So we don't leave the men behind. We carry along, we move along with the men to ensure that the women are empowered.
And you know why I love that? By the way, sorry to interrupt. I've always said one of the most amazing conversations I ever had around maternity health was in Lloyd Talk with Amref. And the way it works is the men are part of the conversation. There's no point of putting women in a room. You tell them things and they still go back into a space where guys are like, mulikuwa munaambiwa nini?
Sure.
And then they're locked out.
Yes.
You've got to bring the men along.
Yes.
So I love that. What else do I need to know? Number 2.
Number 2 is our loans are interest-free.
Oh.
And the women get themselves into groups. They can access up to 750,000 interest-free loans. Yeah.
Okay.
So what we do is we will train them.
Of course.
The first loan, of course, they will have a few challenges here and there because they are trying to figure out which project to engage in. But by the time they reach the 3rd loan, which is 350,000, then the women get into the spaces where they start defining their project and what they are currently planning to do.
But it's interest-free.
It is interest-free loan.
Okay.
Yes. And we do a lot of capacity building through partnerships, strategic partnerships and alliances with different stakeholders, multinational companies. And this is one thing that a lot of people do not know.
Okay.
The fact that we are a government agency, they tend to shy off because and there's so much out here that if they come on board, then they will get to learn. We will link them to enterprises, large enterprises. We have programs to link them to large enterprises and even to facilitate market access. Because as we speak, women will start biasharas and they have no idea how they're going to sell and where.
True.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Number 3.
Number 3, all women are factored in into the model of Women Enterprise Fund, because we look at a woman from the age of 18.
Oh, okay. Now, you know what? There's some people whose eyebrows have gone up because they're like, apana tulikuwa tunafikiria ni ya kina mama. You know, there's a way we talk about kina mama, and usually akona leso, amefunga kitambaa kwa kichwa, na anatoka kutoka Ruiru past the wall of Kinoo, and she's probably over 35.
No.
So it's women from the age of 18.
So that means even the young girls who are leaving high school have an opportunity at the Women Enterprise Fund. All they need to do is to form a group, get registered with the social department, and we are on board. We will be able to take them through the process.
That. To be honest, I didn't know that. But I'm sure somebody heard Victoria introduce herself and thought Coca-Cola, Women Enterprise Fund. How did this happen? How did you become part of this? And why, actually?
So in 2013, we started the journey of empowering women through a program called 5x20.
I remember 5x20.
Yeah, so empowering 5 million women by 2020.
Yes.
It was such an amazing shout during that time, and that's when we engaged Women Enterprise Fund in 2014, whereby they had everything we needed when it comes to empowering a woman. Access to basic business skills training, where you find most women are struggling in that. Access to assets and access to finance.
And markets.
So most of the women in Enterprise Fund are being given interest-free loans, which is what we were looking up to. When you look at Coca-Cola business, up to 70% is women invested.
And they
gave us that.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Okay, so when they called you, you didn't go to them? Coca-Cola called you.
Yes.
Now, when Coca-Cola calls and your Women Enterprise Fund, do you think that's a radio station pranking us? Do you think, wanataka nini? I mean, how did it feel to get a call from Coke?
I think that was the most amazing thing that would have happened for the fund at that particular time, because we were looking into getting into strategic partnerships and more especially to leverage on our strengths.
Okay.
Yeah. As an institution, we are not able to reach all the women across the country.
True.
Yeah. Coca-Cola had a very elaborate entrepreneurship program.
And they have an amazing network.
Yes. We have a mandate on capacity building.
Yes.
So we said, okay, we can build synergy and see how far we can support our women to take up the idea of Coca-Cola. And of course, if a multinational, a corporate company like Coke comes knocking, you're like, wow.
What can we do together, please?
So what we are doing is actually recognized out there. It's not in vain.
Yeah, okay.
And I thought we were elated as an institution.
There was jubilation.
Yes, as an institution. And we thought, wow, this we have to take to the next level, and we have to sensitize our women also to just appreciate the opportunities that lie in between the partnership that we are getting ourselves into.
But Victoria, you as Coca-Cola didn't come in just to, rubber stamp.
Yeah.
You actually came with a check.
Yes.
So you felt a need to also add to the fund.
Yes.
Why?
Because you see, most of when you look at our assets, when you give our assets, we don't charge our assets, but we saw the need of actually giving this money to WEF so they can be able to multiply the woman's business. You find most of the women have businesses, yes, but they need to add more into their business.
Of course.
So you're not only doing a Coca-Cola business, but you're doing other business. You're selling bread, you have a tabletop business, and you're doing other things. So then how do we add it on top, over and above what you're doing, so that the woman feels, at least I have something to put extra, and it helps them financially.
And I know she said, she said capacity and network, but in my head I realized you can, without a doubt, from Malalal to Laisamis to somewhere in Lamu, get a Coke. I mean that is a footprint that obviously for you, when you put it together with the Women's Enterprise Fund, you're like, click, it worked.
Yeah.
It worked. So Coke come on board, you're able obviously to multiply the effect. But when you talk about the Women's Enterprise Fund and the work you do, and you start telling stories, and I'm sure there's like one story you tell over and over again. How long have you been with the fund?
This is my 6th year.
So what makes you stay?
Wow. Carol, working with women is the most interesting thing.
Yes.
and especially when they have to tell you the journey, because you start with them from, some of them it is about the attitude change, because you want to give them 100,000 and they tell you no, I only want 2,000. So you have to convince them that you can actually take the 100,000. This is a woman who has no business idea, because we are looking at the women at the lowest pyramid.
Okay.
So by the time you build their confidence levels to the extent that they are able to take up their 100,000, and you walk the journey with them to the level where they're at 750,000, you're like, wow. So it is doable. So there are women out here who have success stories. We have aligned, currently we have aligned our programs with the Big Four agenda. So we are able to categorize what percentage is in the food and security, what percentage is in manufacturing, what percentage is in universal health care. And, so that way it gives you the morale to stay. Because I keep telling guys, if there's any one thing that has transformed my life, then it is working with the women, and more especially at the grassroots. Not to say that the women, the urban women are locked out.
I wish more urban women would understand that they can do this.
Urban women are invited at the Women Enterprise Fund. And what we need to appreciate is that women will come at different levels. Carol, you can come to Women Enterprise Fund to be a mentor, because in your village, there are women who will always come knocking, telling you, Carol, nipe. But because you know about Women Enterprise Fund, you'll tell them, can you get yourselves into a group of 10? There's this government fund. Na watawapatia pesa, na watawafundisha.
How to use it so you can pay it back, because it's interest free.
It is interest free. So all women have an opportunity to benefit, to plug in to the programs of the Women Enterprise Fund.
Victoria, I understand this is your second round that you've actually said, okay, well, 2014 was nice and it was a term. And this is what made you as Coca-Cola say, okay, that was good, let's do it again. Yes, because you could have done your first term and just moved on.
So 3 key things. One is sustainability.
It made sense.
It made sense to the business. And you definitely don't want to come and now start it afresh. And you just want to continue with the same thing. So sustainability was very key for us as Coke. Another thing is monitoring and evaluation. That is very key. And WEF has proven they're doing amazing things around monitoring and evaluation. Follow-ups on women. A woman has started with 1 ice box. Now the woman has grown. She's a fully fledged distributor and covering 6, 7 counties. So massive innovations that has come from. So
from that. Okay, so because I was wondering, did they look around and not find something else, or did they actually have such a good feedback?
They did.
And you said we're back in. But, she said something interesting. She talked about the fact that, number one, the Women's Enterprise Fund is open to women from the age of 18. I think that one made my eyebrows go up, and my eyebrows really do go up. But also she said urban women. I think sometimes what is sad about the way communication is done and how we receive it, because remember, it is subjective, not objective. We think that, funds like the Women Enterprise Fund is for a certain woman. Like I said, beyond the wall of Kino, Apa kutoka Ruaka, from Ruiru onwards. And then, even when you're in Nakuru, in Eldoret, in Mombasa, there's what you call the urban woman who is, she's lamenting that she can't grow her business. We have a business, we're a group, and then never go to the Women's Enterprise Fund ever. And worse still, don't even bother to inform herself so she can help another. Now, what would you love to say? Because, you and I are the definition of urban female. What do you wish we did more of?
So I think it's just to advise women not to be afraid to take up these opportunities when they come through. And I think we need probably to retweak the conversation and shout more about it. Because when it's not out there, then you wouldn't know that probably this loan can be able to suit a certain qualification. So probably just, keep speaking about it.
A younger woman also?
A younger woman, and we also focus on youth. Actually, our key initiatives next year will be to include both women and youth into this program.
Okay, mumesikia. So can we stop crying about, and these banks that don't talk to us? No, even me, I don't talk to banks. Yeah. But when you've got the Women's Enterprise Fund, and then Coke didn't come and put a logo, you know, next to your comms. They came with money, with money. Yes. But I guess I will ask you the same question I've just asked Victoria. What do you wish the younger, more urban woman understood about the Women's Enterprise Fund?
I think the most importantly is that the younger woman should see Women Fund as a stepping bridge, a point where they can actually start off. Because when you're from high school, Carol, you have no idea how to engage into
you
business.
Finish Form 4, you said stress measure. We're like, do we give you a moment or do we tell you?
When you get into now the real space, the real world,
yes,
you realize that things are not as easy
as you thought.
Yes. Yeah? The Women Enterprise Fund will handhold you.
Yes.
And take you to the next level.
Yeah.
For the urban women, we want them to be mentors.
Yes.
To the young women who are coming on board.
Yes.
Because of course they have associated with you know, chama ya akina mama. And akina mama are always, you know, the age of your mom and my mom.
Na leso hapa.
Yes. Yeah. So we have the window for all the women.
Okay.
Yeah. And my rallying, and I keep saying
it's not called the Rural Women's Enterprise Fund. It's called the Women's Enterprise Fund.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And because we promote the 5th Sustainable Development Goal.
My favorite.
Which is gender equality and women empowerment.
Yes.
Basically, it means that if we are able to achieve these SDG,
yes,
we'll have achieved more or less,
we'll take care of the other ones before it, yes,
of all the SDGs that we are yet to achieve.
Yeah.
So I believe that life begins when a woman is empowered.
There you
and
go.
If we are 18, I mean, at that young age,
yes,
you come on board.
Yes.
I mean, we can change this world.
We can change your life and your world.
And the world. And our tagline says, when you empower a woman, you empower a family and a whole nation. A woman will get 10 shillings. But out of the 10 shillings, they will, seven shillings will go back into the family.
Yes.
Yeah. Because they have to ensure, oh, my kids have to eat.
Yes, they must go to school.
They must go to school.
And they must dress.
They must dress.
Yes.
Yeah?
Yeah.
So when we start nurturing them early enough, then the snowballing effect then becomes greater.
Yes, true.
In the end.
True.
And we believe that we all have an opportunity and a role as women, irrespective of our spaces, to play and add value to the Women Enterprise Fund.
And Victoria, you forgive me for being the one to say this. I think what I love about the partnership and the relationship between Coca-Cola and the Women's Enterprise Fund is that you bring in the cool factor. Yes, I mean, yes. Otherwise, you know, you still have people who are like, Mimi, nienda Enterprise Fund. Yeah, so you bring the cool factor, but what gets measured gets done.
Yeah.
And I guess, you know, for you, I'm sure there's a goal that every time you look at what the Women's Enterprise Fund is doing as Coca-Cola, you're saying this is where we want to get to. What is one of those?
I think it's all about creating shared value initiatives within the business. It's not all about making money, but we're also looking at the social and community factor. So once that is a tick, and once we are taking care of the communities around us, I think for Coke, that's a win for us.
It's a pity I didn't see you at the Africa Share Value Summit, because you articulate that so well. Yeah. You articulate that so well. No, I'm a very, very big believer in that shared value, because I think big business is no good unless business does good.
Yes, yeah.
Business is no good unless it does good. Yeah. And when business begins to do good and understand, we can all report amazing figures, but when you're not touching the very communities in which you operate in, then it's actually a failed business.
Actually, the social aspect is something that we as Coke take very seriously.
I know that, but I'm glad you're here to say it. Congratulations to both of you.
Yeah.
I hope to be invited the next time, you know, there's ribbon cutting and dancing around.
For sure.
Because apparently you've met your target.
Yes.
And for you, a younger, more urban woman has come on board. Yes. Make 2020 the year where you stop talking about the things you wish to do and you get your skates on. And you start by calling the Women's Enterprise Fund. And if you were looking for something that makes it cool, Coke came on board. Happy now? Good. Subscribe.